with yourself on the floor. When the man with the power and the dollar says you ain't worth a cent, and your wings won't fly and your words won't flow. You can't force a smile and they won't leave you alone. I see the light in you, let it shine again. 'Cause you were born for the fire, raised by the storm, braver together, loud and fun. Heart full of country, soul full of grit. We don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. Oh, we don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. I know a woman with a lion's heart and a pretty blue dress with a shopping cart. Head full of dreams, gonna change the world. Got a body of work they say won't sell, and a way with words that she won't tell. I see the light in you, let it shine again. 'Cause you were born for the fire, raised by the storm, braver together, loud and fun. Heart full of country, soul full of grit. We don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. Oh, we don't run, we rise, and we don't quit. We don't.
Good morning, Patriot family. We hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday morning, because I think we are. I don't know what's going on.
Well, every day feels like Monday because we didn't get a Monday. And so every day feels like perpetual Monday. And then I just have the giggles today. I don't really know why. What did you put in the coffee?
Lil Wayne.
Little way.
I don't know, because did you see that he posted? He was like
Oh,
Happy
what?
Memorial Day,
No.
and he was like, troop salute. I love this is why.
Aw,
So y'all that are
culture.
mad at me that I like Lil Wayne supports
Nobody's
our
mad at you.
troops. Okay, Lil Wayne is maybe a little out of pocket, right? He's always out of pocket with his lyrics, but he is one of the most incredible lyricists I think we have
He is. He's
in the
good.
hip hop movement. So
He's
yeah,
good.
with that being said,
I love you, Allie. I love you.
out of pocket with Allie and Michelle.
I mean, it's going to be off the rails today, guaranteed. We're sorry in advance, Zach, in the booth, because, yeah, it's just, we are how many weeks into this new studio, and I can't figure out these in-ears.
Oh my
Can somebody drop a comment and let me know?
god.
Okay, anyway. Today, Allie, this is huge. There is a huge victory for parental rights in DC. I can't
Thank
believe we're still
goodness.
having to fight these battles.
Listen, when you have like years of a regime that is aimed at trying to strip away rights from the American people and sovereignty from
Democrats.
the American people, the Democrat Party, thank you very much. Not thank you, but that is what we are still fighting, trying to upend. And everyone is like, oh, we're past that. Are we though?
Are we, though?
Because we still have over 200 executive orders that have not been codified, and President Trump, like, that has,
Yep. That part.
So,
that
yeah.
part. Well, this is part of it. Thank you to the House. We'll get to that. And then also, the European Union sounds a lot more MAGA in what they voted on regarding deportations. Plus,
Interesting.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio gets a little bit out of pocket when talking to the media. If I had to talk in that press room to some of those people, it would be very difficult for me to keep my Jesus. How about you?
Listen, my Jesus has been tested lately, and I'm like, Lord, please don't let me lose it.
Please don't. Let me-
I need
Please
to
don't give me the strength, because somebody's going to. Never mind.
I'm gonna flip some tables and give me a cat and nine tails. Stop playing. All right. And with that being said, let's open the mic and get out of pocket.
Two queens, no filter, say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real. Politics, family, yeah, we go there. If it's out of line, we don't care. It's out of pocket. It's out of pocket.
I'm here. I'm just working. I told you it feels like a Monday.
It does feel like Monday, you guys. It does. How was y'all's Memorial Day? Hopefully it was nice and smooth, and y'all prayed, and we had some fun things. There were some things, that was just really cool.
It was really cool. Well, and I mean,
I know we kind of talked about it yesterday.
people talk about, like even Friday, have a great weekend and enjoy your 3-day. Who was it? Was it Kamala Harris that was like, enjoy your 3-day weekend last year, or in 2024 before I remember her saying it, and people were like, "What are you talking about? It's not like just a 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
It's Memorial Day."
We keep talking about it, I know, because
Because it's just
it's
we're
just
scarred.
about our sovereignty. All right.
Well,
Continue.
Allie, the
Libs of
house,
TikTok.
the house. When you make libs of TikTok again, you're being trolled. The House did it again. They voted 217 to 198 to pass a bill banning schools from secretly changing a child's gender, pronouns, or name at school without parental consent.
Like, why are we still having this conversation? Like this, you cannot do this without a court approval in any other circumstance. Literally, in any other
Literally.
circumstance.
Literally.
You cannot do this
Literally.
without a court approval. I don't understand why our teachers unions and our teachers in our schools
Yeah.
think that this is appropriate.
Well,
It's never been.
So, and this is HR 2616. Now, the trouble is what happens when it goes to the Senate, which is why your midterms are so important. But you're right, Allie. So many states have already handled this. You look at states like Florida that have they take a look. They take a look at the federal. They codify it first in their state because sometimes federal is slow to move. But can you imagine your school counselor, your school nurse, your school principal, and your child's teacher all forming this sort of secret club that just allows your child to completely identify differently, and you know nothing about it.
And you know what this is? It's like it's weaponization of emotions. It's weaponization of
access. Yes.
It's weaponization of mind molding adults that are using their knowledge and their psychological tactics, being able to mold and bend the minds of young children who are already moldable
Right.
and malleable. And this
Yes.
is egregious. It is an egregious overreach of parental rights that are absolute. Absolute. They have already been understood that parents have an absolute inherent right to direct the upbringing and the raising and rearing of their own children.
Yes.
The fact that it needs to be codified into law is absolutely mind-blowing to me. Florida actually was the first state to do this before the federal government.
Yes.
So Florida has been leading this charge
Amen.
for a very long time. But again, guys, if you do not want to go back to this mess,
We ain't doing it. We Hanta Manata doing it.
Hanta Manata. Yes. But if you do not want to go back to this kind of rhetoric, this kind of disillusion of our parental rights, we have to get involved in the midterms. We have to, as parents, to protect parental rights and protect our daughters and our children and our sovereignty. Most importantly, we have to be involved.
Absolutely. And when you talk about the how malleable young minds are, as somebody who, I has coached and taught, I built relationships with these students that if it wasn't a three-pronged approach with the parents, anybody could weaponize that. And I'm not saying that teachers do, but you can. And that's why some of us during 2021, 2020, 2022, we're calling this a type of grooming.
Right.
Of children, because you're put in a position of authority, a position of a power, a position of trust over these young minds. And if you abuse that, it is 100% grooming. I've sat with students through Turning Point. I know you have too with Club America, and listen to them discuss topics and listen to them talk about what certain trusted adults in their circle have told them, and listen to other students challenge it. And then pretty soon, before you realize that, they are having this independent thought battle and they form their own opinion. And it was not necessarily what they were always told. They went and got the information for themselves. If we're not doing that, it's not education.
And then think about this. So you'll have a school that will take a child for feeling sad. They go into the therapist's office for feeling sad. Then the therapist is giving them this language that they don't quite comprehend or understand. And they're weaponizing this language so that the children end up going to the parents find out, right? Or one parent finds out and goes to the school and says, wait a minute, what is happening here? This isn't what is proper. This isn't what's going on. And they're questioning what's going on. And then the counselor is like, wait, you're being abrasive. You're being
'Cause it's my child.
inconsiderate. You're not being compassionate.
Yeah.
And that's wild, right? And then they end up taking that to court and weaponizing this same situation
Yeah.
to take custody away from parents
It's
who really
crazy.
do want what is best for their children, but are
Right.
being led to believe through the court system by the psychologist or the counselor that
Yes.
they are crazy
Well, and this
and
is why
unsafe for their child.
absolutely, this is why we said long ago we don't co-parent with the government. Bureaucracy is not an intermediary between me and my child, or you and your child, and the upbringing that you seek for them. So please take an active role in your local state legislation, as well as getting out there during the midterms. Allie, I don't know if you saw this or not, but Nancy Mace, she introduced a resolution to ban she wants a new proposal to ban foreign-born Americans from serving in Congress. So
Mm.
not those that are born here, which we can get into the whole birthright citizenship thing later. Feel how you feel about that, but this is specifically born somewhere else. You migrate to this country, hopefully legally, not like Elon Omar, but hopefully legally. And then, but then you decide to run for Congress, specifically Congress. So this doesn't touch your mayor's race or your school board race,
I think it should,
right? Well,
honestly.
take a listen when. So now Fox News is getting out there and kind of trying to do some like investigative journalism. Take a listen to Elon Omar's response to this.
Can I ask you about Nancy Mace? She proposed a resolution that would bar foreign-born individuals from serving in Congress. What do you think about that? She mentioned you as an example. What's your response to that?
Good luck to her.
So you don't think it will go anywhere?
No.
And also, Randy Fine has one about giving up. If you're a dual citizen, you have to give up your citizenship in the other country, renounce it. What do you think about that?
Who's that?
Randy Fine.
Oh. I love how like she just refuses to answer questions.
Like, you're an elected representative. This is your job to be transparent.
I mean, I do say that sarcastically. I don't love how she does that, to be honest with you.
But-
No,
no,
I think
I
all of you understand what I'm
cheeks, I get
saying.
it.
But yes, I fully support those two. Represent those two pieces of legislation. I would 100% vote with that.
You hear her response when she
Good
was like,
luck.
who? And he said, Randy Fine. If you don't know, Randy Fine hails from Florida, which
Great state, the free state of Florida.
the fabulous state of Florida. And although I may not agree with everything throughout the course of his voting here in Florida, he has been a patriot for promoting parental rights. But also here in Florida, for the longest time, he served as the only Jewish American elected to the Florida legislature. I'm not sure if that held true towards the end of his tenure, but then he goes to Congress and he's a bulldog, because you've got people like Ilhan Omar. You cannot refute their chanting of from the river to the sea, which is just meaning to disseminate and wipe Israel off the planet. You can't say that, Omar, and then also say that you believe in what the Judeo-Christian values that our country was built on. I don't know how you serve two masters. You don't.
She can't. You can't. And this is why it is important, if you are a dual citizen, that you renounce, because your loyalty is to which country. If we're talking about representatives and mad about them going overseas to have conversations in the midst of peace talks with Iran or the Middle East, and we're not mad that Ilhan Omar or other representatives have dual citizenship with countries that hate us, what are we really talking about?
Countries that, like, she's come out and said many times that she is for the interest of Somalians, of Somalia. That's not what you took an oath to.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Adversaries, domestic or otherwise.
How is that also not derelict of duty if you cannot stand behind your oath? See, I understand that there are a lot of people that don't take oaths seriously and that are elected to serve in our government. But if you are not about service, you can be swept up by the swamp. And
Yeah.
if you guys have not seen this interview with Tulsi Gabbard and
Yes.
Sean Ryan, you need to go watch it because I was sucked in like the first 7 minutes of it.
Yep.
I'm like,
She's
what?
amazing.
It's
She's
great. It's a
amazing.
great show. But that is something that Tulsi Gabbard says is like the swamp is swampy, and it's
It's
easy for
real.
you to get swept up
It's
into
real.
it because you're given all access. You're
Mhm.
given the access to parties and access to
Right.
foreign dignitaries
Yeah.
and fancy dinners because of lobbyists and like all of these things. And so I just when you're used to that kind of attitude or that
Mhm.
kind of access,
Yeah.
you become threatened when someone wants to take it from you.
Right. Oh, that's so true, Allie. That is so true.
So accountability feels like a threat.
And it reminds me of those who do it really, really well. A lot of them you'll hear representatives talk about, how they sleep in their office. Like they're all
Mhm.
about business. And then when their business is done, they
Mhm.
fly back to their districts and they spend time with their families and their
In their
constituents
district,
in their
in
district
their
because
office.
it's almost like I don't want to stay for all of the hoopla that's going to happen in this city over the weekend. Like I'm good, I'm out. And I'm getting a deeper, profound respect for that. And even for people like, I had somebody come up to me the other day and said, they're going to come for their pound of flesh eventually because they've, in my case, they chose to endorse me. And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? Everything ends with you and your ability to say yes
Or
or
no.
no, or, and I'm not going to flip it, but you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like
Go kick rocks.
at the end of the day, it resides with the person. So when you're talking about in the midterms, you're talking about in your local elections in 2026, who you're going to go out and support and who you're going to vote for, make sure you put candidates out there who already run their own life, run their
Right.
own race. They're not
Right.
tethered to anything. And certainly don't expect them to be tethered to you because you want that independent thinker. It's a good chance that you're not going to always agree.
And so it's funny because, and I'm glad that you said this. It's because everyone wants a Christian conservative,
Uh-huh.
but then don't trust the Christian conservative to make the right decisions. What? Because yes, I understand that might be our lived experience with
Thank
elected
you.
representatives, sure, but not everyone's lived experience is the same. And if we continue to do the same things that we've always done, we will always
Right.
get the same results.
Yes.
So until we're able to think differently and,
Yeah.
and approach things in a different manner
Mhm.
and vote in a different way, right? Maybe not an establishment picked candidate. Maybe not, you know what I'm saying? Maybe not maybe somebody who you may think is a little bit less qualified, because what actually makes you qualified to run
Good
for office?
Lord.
Like what? I know we're going on a tangent here.
No, but it's true.
Seriously,
It's so true.
the
Go.
only things
Yes.
that make you qualified to run for office is your age in certain offices, the fact that you are a United States citizen, right? Hello.
How
That,
polarizing is that, Democrat
right,
Party?
that you've lived in the district, that you've lived in the state long enough, that you like those, that's it. Those are the qualifications.
Absolutely. And Allie, if we're going to talk about this from a Christian believer's standpoint, because you and I both are, just to be real and raw, I have to say, if I am in tune with the Holy Spirit and I'm being led by God in a communion with God every single day, you might not be being told the same thing that I am. So you do you, I'm going to do me. And while
the
I'm
fruit.
doing me, while I'm being who I'm said to be and who I'm supposed to be, it's not always going to be easy. You have to be accountable to questions, which is why this bugs me that she doesn't answer this. I know it bugs you too, because the questions, this is your time. This is your time to give your reasoning. You don't have a reason. That's why you remain mute, but ask them questions. But listen, you can't just go along and say, oh, you're in a picture with so and so, so you're this, or you've got support over here, so you're this. Oh, you didn't listen to me on this one bill, so you're this. Engage in conversation. It's the one thing Allie and I have done more together over the last couple of years than I've ever seen done ever separately of what we do. Is you don't like this person that's elected? Go have a meeting with them. Go give them a list of things that you want done and help give them the tools to do it. And then sit back and watch. And then if they don't do it, I understand primarying them. I understand getting them out. But so many
Give
people
them
just
the
want to be
opportunity.
complainikins.
Right. Complaining can too. I like that.
Oh,
Give them the opportunity. I mean, so many times we've seen through legislation where we've had people come after
Yeah.
representatives for legislation that's been pushed, but they don't understand what the legislation is either doing, actually saying, or why the representative pushed it forward and authored it in the
oh,
first
you're
place.
so right.
So when you are attacking a representative without
Yeah.
first going to them and figuring out
Yeah.
what was your intent behind this bill, you're severing a relationship from ever being built in
And
the first place. You want to be able to bridge the gap. And that's what I love most about President Trump and his
Yeah.
administration, and a lot of the representatives that have won based on their true constitutional conservative
yes.
service mindset is they will answer the questions for you. And they're not rude about it.
Right. And here's the thing, Allie, you can't judge your elected representatives by their deeds and then judge you by your intentions. You really can't. And so people that just want to sling mud for the sake of slinging mud, listen, we're two very vocal women. If you don't think we don't have the capacity, you haven't been around. But to do it just for the sake of doing it is it's irresponsible. And one thing I was going to add, Allie, I remember there was a time not that long ago, there was a bill going through the Florida legislature, and I messaged you, and I wanted, I don't know what we were doing, but somehow we weren't in the same geographic location. So I picked up the phone and called you, and you could tell it was hot.
Yeah.
And
no,
you were
for
like,
sure.
girl, I know you're not calling the legislature. I'll talk to him.
I got him.
I got it. Because
Yep.
you were like, if you do this, relationship gone. That
Right.
we'll never be able to get them to the right side of this issue. You reached out. There was an explanation. There was a good explanation. There was a time frame given. There was an urgency that you pushed back with. And you
Yep.
know what? They struck the language out of the bill.
They struck the language. And this is why
Thank you.
this is why moms are so important in the legislative process. Because when representatives, legislators, period, senators,
Yeah.
representatives, you have city councilmen, school board members, who
Yep.
do they call when they want a bill passed? They want a policy passed, they want it killed, they want it messaged to the people properly, or they want speakers to come and speak either at the podium during a school board meeting,
Yeah.
a city council meeting, or a BOCC meeting, a board of county commissioners meeting,
Yeah.
or if they want you to come and speak at committee. Who do they call? Who do they call,
Not
Michelle?
Ghostbusters. They call the moms.
They call the moms. Why? Because since 2020, even before then in Florida, since 2014, 2015, 2019, what were we doing? Pushing legislation. A lot of the legislation that has been passed recently wasn't even on the minds of legislators and
Yeah.
board members until moms showed up.
Well, and it really was. It was okay. So there's a board member that
My gosh.
is in my district, and we're like just flying off the handle here.
I
right?
know.
There's a board member in our district that was a minority on the school board for so long.
Yeah.
And you want to talk about like being beat up? I mean, just beat up. And because I've been playing this in my mind, like what happens when you're elected and you are serving on the minority. But I watched as this person took everything that they saw being done behind closed doors through our school boards and went directly to the state legislature and said, we need protections for parents for this. We need protections for teachers for this. We need protections for students for this, mental health, you name, and carved out an entire parental movement, because you're there. And people's heads were spinning because they're like, wait a minute. You're not a majority, but one person can behave in the majority if you know how to work hard.
Your relationships. That's why when
Yes.
we teach this, especially through Moms for America and the Empower Moms movement and the Maha movement, we teach you to build relationships with your local elected representatives from school board all the way to Congress. Why? Because that relationship matters.
Absolutely.
They matter. That's how lobbyists are able to get things done the way that they want them done for their companies, their clients. We are the biggest client. We, the people, are the largest lobbyists in America. If we are not utilizing our minds the right way, our access to our representatives the right way, we will lose this country. And I'm telling you, moms, if you don't want to go back to where we were in 2020 and where we were in 2022, you have to get involved and vote
And stay
Republicans. I get it. We're mad at them. I get it.
Hey, you do it with your kids.
Right. But build that relationship.
You like pow pow, and then you're like, but I love you.
But I love you.
Let's get going. Let's move.
But this
move.
honestly, what you were talking about is how Moms for Liberty was started.
I I
two
know.
board members
I know.
that were witnessing what was going on. And
Yes.
we were like, wait, we need a movement.
We need a
That's what
movement.
Moms for Freedom was doing. We were more medically minded, medical
Yes.
freedom minded. Maha
Almost
before
turned into
everything
Maha.
else,
Yeah.
right? Maha came in on the scene. I mean, I was like, why wasn't I had a phone call to lead
She's like,
Maha?
okay,
I mean,
Kennedy, I'm right here. I don't know.
Bobby Kennedy, you don't remember me? Like, this is what we were doing down in Florida. What happened?
Yeah.
Like, no, I get it.
Your phone's gonna ring.
Like,
Hey, lay off the freaking Kennedy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
I didn't mean it. I didn't.
happening just a little bit. Okay. You want to talk about accountability now? It may not be happening as fast as we like, but due process does take time because it is a process.
Mhm.
Take a listen to this announcement regarding the Minneapolis fraud.
Today, we are announcing criminal charges against 15 defendants in Minnesota for fraud schemes that targeted over $90 million in taxpayer dollars. Let me be clear up front about something. This is not the end of our work in Minnesota. This is not the end of the beginning of our work in Minnesota. This is the beginning of our work in Minnesota. The fraud here in Minnesota is shocking. Our cases today involve 7 different state-managed Medicaid programs that have been systematically pilfered by fraudsters who treated Minnesota-run programs as their personal piggy bank. One of the programs has been completely shut down because there's no money left. It's all gone. That was Minnesota's state-run Housing Stabilization Services Program, designed to help the homeless find and maintain housing. It was estimated in 2020 that it would cost only about $2.5 million a year to fund this program, but it ended up costing almost 50 times that much, over $104 million by 2024 due to fraud. And because of all the fraud, Minnesota had to shut the program down in 2025, and now these services.
OMG. 90 million. So let me tell you the picture I have in my mind.
Okay.
And I'm like, AI could totally generate this photo of a bunch of like Somalis and government officials, like just tossing money around.
Yeah,
like
making it rain.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Well-
this is insane. $90 million of your tax dollars. And everybody's mad that President Trump wants to put a fund together for those that have been weaponized by our Department of Justice and our own government. Everyone's throwing a freaking tissy fit over that, but not 90 million of fraud against Medicaid and trying to house homeless people.
I mean,
Are we for
everybody
real?
says they want a solution to the homeless problem. The solution is get people off the teat of fraud. Do you remember when our president said not that long ago, if we just cut out the fraud and abuse from our government, you'll balance the budget? This is how
That's
this is
it.
just Minneapolis.
100%. Oh, wow.
This is just
Can you
Minneapolis.
imagine? Can you imagine how many other states this is occurring in? And everyone wanted to get rid of Doge.
Look at your local jurisdiction. Look at your state-funded programs that draw from the federal dollars, including Medicaid. Think about your family that could use a help or a helping hand or a leg up. Think about your veterans. Think about the mental health that you wish you could provide.
Kids.
Foster care, you name it.
Kids that are coming out, aging out of foster care. Where are they going?
Well, and this was one of them during this press conference actually said that they had some 800, and it could be 700 to 800 institutions that were drawing off the Medicaid dollars for these, like whether it's home health or whatever it is. They cut the benefit. They stopped giving the money, and only a handful of these 800 or so businesses and beneficiaries actually reached out and said, "Hey, where'd my benefits go?" Everybody else was like, like they didn't get any pushback. It's like going to some empty fund somewhere. This is,
and to think that this kind of thing is actually going on in California as well.
Yeah,
and California
thank you.
legislature is pushing forward a bill to silence Nick Shirley, who is the investigative journalist,
yeah.
independent from any kind of like legacy media that is exposing it, and they want to silence him from telling the American people where their money is going. This is the same problem I have with school board people, with school board like teacher advocate people that are like, well, it's just public schools, and where's the money? Like, money is going, the charter schools are stealing, they're taking our kids' money. Like, no, it's all public dollars. It's all public dollars.
Read up on antitrust laws. Now you've got the teachers union.
Oh my
goodness. The head makes almost $800,000 a year. You look at the teachers union, they're now.
Hold up. Un momento, por favor. Repita. 800,000.
Randy Weingarten. Yes. And all she does is hold No Kings rallies. But she is now the teachers unions, especially here in Florida, are now trying to sue parents and the whole voucher program, really creating one of the, trying to hold on to with just like such a dear grip, trying to hold on to this monopoly of government and suing parents in the process. Tell me you don't know what antitrust laws are. Tell me you don't know the Sherman Act, the Clayton Act.
They don't.
We've long said in the 1800s and 1900s that this stuff is not okay. It's not American. There's one monopoly that they
want to know why they don't know? Want to know why?
Probably because.
Want to know why? Because it's not taught in schools.
I was going to say, or, the failure to teach literacy correctly.
That part. My goodness.
Keep it locked here for more cheery debates.
Seriously, are like out of pocket today. I don't know what has gotten into us, but
in person in like a little while.
I'm losing my face with some of this stuff. Like, I can't like affordability. And then this is what drives me nuts. Like, affordability is not a campaign slogan. If you're going to run as a candidate, or you're going to be in office and talk about accountability and talk about finance and talk about making sure that everybody has something to afford, right? Affordability. You can't also create the problem where people can't afford things and expect to keep your seat, because now the American people are paying attention, or now the American people are more engaged than ever before. And this is why they keep trying to assassinate our president. And this is why they keep trying to assassinate his family. And this is why they keep trying to assassinate his administration. And this is why they keep trying to silence our representatives that are actually moving the needle, because they want to contain and maintain that control and maintain their fraud that feeds and fills their pockets. And don't talk about no kings.
And during elections, do not tell me all of these talking points without telling me how you're going to fix it, because anybody can chat GPT some talking points. I want to know how you're going to fix it.
She did.
The hell I did, because I know. I got you, Democrats. I know you don't have a new idea in between the ears. I know you don't. So I know. It's okay. I love you. I'm mad at you. So the European Union, remember when they were like borderless societies? They just wanted everybody, like, we're all going to come in and kumbaya this, and we're all going to live happily ever after. And then the UN pushed this with these borderless societies, this mass migration, and the UN being here, in New York, we heavily funded them. But anyway, so the UN has gone off their rocker when it comes to letting migrants just come across the borders. Well, they're doing a huge back shift. They're doing a Control-Alt-Delete. I'm hearing
complete 180.
Deportation pods.
Say what?
I didn't make it up. Take a listen.
And it is adopted. So okay. We have many votes to go through, guys.
She's trying to silence it. They just took a vote on instituting deportation pods. These are areas pockets that you will start to see them deport those who are not there legally into these deportation pods. We have Alligator Alley, Deportation Depot, Florida. I didn't make these up. I'm reporting it, but it's catchy. And then catchy because it catches them.
Right.
Oh,
see, you see
what I did there?
I'm still stuck on ChatGPT talking points. Like, I'm like, what? They do that for Democrats. You can't do it for a Republican. I'm just saying.
You can't.
ChatGPT
Chat pulls to the left.
Right.
Like
Chat
a car that needs an alignment. I'm telling you.
We just full of them today. I listen. The reason why the EU, I'm gonna let y'all know because I turned the air down. I mean, because it was cold as heck in here. It's like we can't do this, but now we all fired up. And now it's hot. I'm gonna get a fan. Oh Lord, listen. The reason why the EU is now talking about deportation pods, whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
is because they have been completely overrun
Girl.
by Islamists who have been there illegally.
Oh,
Did you know that rape has increased like 800% in the EU?
yeah. How many of your
By
daughters does it take?
Pakistani Islamists. That is fact.
It's fact.
It's not racist or
And the wrong people in office have chosen to look the other way, just like you see in some school districts, because you're scrambling to try to control the message and control the narrative.
Yep.
And I think some people hold on to their jobs. So you try to diminish what the issue is, just making an excuse for it to become bigger. You remember they had oh my gosh, they the reason this happens, and again, I want to be very careful because we just had a shooting out in the West Coast at a mosque. So I want to be very careful. We're not advocating for violence ever. Actually, I'm advocating for the opposite of violence. If you'd listen long enough and pull the Democrat out of your ears, if your book that you live by says that it's okay to rape and pillage infidels, and infidels being people that don't think like you, don't act like you, don't believe like you can't be shocked when some of these people that really, really cling to that ideology come into your country because you've left the door open, and they come in and they do that. They rape and pillage your daughters and your granddaughters because they don't think like them. They don't believe like them. So it's open season. That's what their book says. I'm not the author. That's what their book says. Believe them when they tell you what they believe. And I'm not saying that they aren't allowed to come into your country legally and practice whatever faith they want, but it stops when they violate your laws. It stops when they can't uphold your constitution.
that part.
And they've just abandoned that in the European Union. I'm grateful to see, I don't know, some resemblance of common
yes.
sense coming back.
I'm glad, and it's about time. And I think their citizens are going to really. I mean, there are people that are taking to the streets to take back their country.
And do you see how contagious it is?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see how contagious it is? Because Trump went and literally took the bullets. Charlie Kirk went and literally took the bullets. And people in other countries are going, I've long felt that was wrong. So so there they are on the European Union parliamentary floor, standing and clapping. And she's trying to, we've got other things, other business to get to. Because it's like, they're finally going, I'm going to speak up.
Alone. It takes courage. So I'm thankful that the EU is doing this. I think we're going to see more of it. It's going to be amazing. So,
well, Allie, we have to take a quick break because we love our supporters, not just Talk Red, but Liberty Cigars. We're creeping up on America 250. You're going to want to celebrate the right way. So we'll be right back after this short message from Liberty Cigars.
From the heart of Marietta, Georgia, comes a tribute to the spirit of liberty. Liberty Cigars, where history meets craftsmanship. Each cigar tells a story. The Founders Collection honors the visionaries who shaped a nation. The President's House Collection celebrates the leaders who steered it. And the Naval Series salutes the heroes who defended it. Handcrafted with precision, each blend mirrors the essence of its namesake. From the boldness of George Washington to the elegance of Thomas Jefferson. Indulge in a moment of reflection. Light a Liberty cigar and savor the legacy. Discover your story at libertycigars.com because every great nation deserves a great cigar. Liberty Cigars, smoke the history. And don't forget to use promo code OpenMic for 10% off your order.
that part, girl.
You apologize to your bestie. You put too much. I love the cinnamon in here.
Mm-hmm.
Cinnamon's a little fiery.
Don't forget the cinnamon. I love her, by the way. I can't remember her name, but she's like this influencer on TikTok and on Instagram who does like healthy juices. So she juices everything. And she's like, it's the glow queen. I love her. She's amazing. She's just
to hook me up with that. Very nice. Well, we like to brag on our Florida representatives because
Because we can.
they're amazing. Well, and if you don't like it, click. Like,
And
I'm
they're
just saying.
listen, they're literally responsible for a lot of the legislation that's being passed and pushed through the House. And they left a state, or they are serving in a state that is like the tip of the spear of the
Leading the
nation.
way.
So
Leading the way. I said if you don't like it, click. I meant if you don't like it, scroll.
scroll.
What century am I in?
I mean,
Well, so monitoring what's happening in Cuba, 90 miles off the coast of Florida, we should very much care about this. All of your No Kings protesters are really up in arms anytime there's a dictator that is at, I guess, at odds with our president. I love this out-of-pocket moment by Representative and gubernatorial candidate here in the state of Florida, Byron Donalds. Let's take a listen.
Well, the fact that you have Democrat senators who want to stop the United States government and stop President Trump from doing what he can to help free Cuba from more than 60 years of totalitarianism and a dictatorship. But then the same Democrats will come here and lecture everybody in America about how they're the only ones that stand for freedom, that stand for democracy. Give me a break. They're lying. But this isn't new. They lie about this stuff all the time because we work in these halls. And when we try to just do simple common sense policy to actually open up America's economy for the American people, drive down costs, have health care that makes sense, you know who stops us? The same Democrats who go on the trail and talk about how they're the only one standing for the little guy. That war powers resolution that they're bringing is indicative of the fact that the Democrats will tolerate totalitarianism on their watch. And they will let it happen. They will watch people starve. They will watch people be oppressed. And they won't lift a finger, but they'll go to their cocktail party and talk about how they stand for freedom and liberty and democracy. Give me a break. I don't listen to them anymore. And that resolution is why.
let him cook. I mean, he's not wrong. Feel how you want about him.
I know you did.
Say what you want about him,
Yeah.
but he ain't wrong.
Listen,
Show me where the lie's at.
Allie, we have,
Don't you want somebody that's in office in Florida that knows that feels that way, that's representing that? How can you sit here and say he's done nothing for Florida when he traveled the entire United States to get Black people to come out and vote for the president that we currently have and the administration that we currently have in droves, in numbers that we have never seen before?
some of our earliest legislation in this state for parental rights before we knew that was a thing were courtesy of Byron Donalds when he served in the state and as a state rep. Oh, absolutely.
Like,
And it's
what are we talking about here?
and this is the thing, Allie.
Whatever,
This
y'all.
is what freaks me out is that people will comment, and I'm just going to go a little Byron Donalds here for a minute. People will comment about the funding that's coming into his gubernatorial race. Okay. I'm going to tell you this. Get your tissues. People like to fund a winner, and it's not easy to raise money. Do you want to know why it's not easy to raise money? I'm seeing this on the other side of the veil, if you will, right now. It's not easy to raise money because when you come out hard as a conservative grassroots candidate, do you know who is limited in funding and donations? Do you know who doesn't tend to donate? Grassroots.
No.
They're great with, and I love you. I'm mad at you. They're great with, if for helping with policy. They get out and knock doors like crazy. They get out there and make the phone calls. They're sign waving. They do a lot of wonderful things. But to say that because you've got data center companies that are donating to Byron Donalds means he's going to cut them a deal. He hasn't served one day as governor yet. How do you know that? How do you know that they're not funding somebody who is going to be a winner? You have to hold them responsible once elected. You cannot point to anything in his state races and in his congressional races that show me that he's done favors for people who have funded him. So why are you holding him responsible for something that you've made up between your ears that we've not actually seen happen? Actually, if you've gone and listened to him speak, as we have, and give him a chance, he has said, I'll take their money. That's great. They believe in me as a winner. But they're not getting a special phone call and a special favor. That's not going to happen. But some people just, it falls on deaf ears.
But then when you build those relationships with your representatives and you are the ones who get the phone calls, they're like, well, what did you do to get special access?
Oh my
First
God.
of all, I built the relationship based on trust. I've been able to help the guy or others, right? Push positive legislation that protects families, parental rights, that protects the sovereignty of America, protects America,
Good
Americans,
Lord.
and American interests.
Like,
That's how.
like, I don't need your access. I'll work hard.
Right.
That's how you do
Like
it.
I built my access. Like brick by brick. Maybe
right.
maybe pick up a chisel. I don't
Maybe get to work.
I don't know what to tell you. Like it just
I will write a prescription.
it's
That's how
definitely
you
not because I'm pretty. I'll tell you that.
listen. Somebody said to us once that might get you in the door, but as soon as your mouth opens, they're like, oh,
Oh, girl,
Oh.
yes, I have that. I have that experience.
oh, she's like
literally
that.
have
Oh,
that.
she like
Literally
works.
have that experience. Was like told, oh,
Whoa! We didn't expect you to talk.
respect.
Sorry.
Love that. Everybody that's come in here does not talk like that.
Mm-mm.
Fantastic. We'll keep an eye on you.
I love it. All right, but going on to Cuba. So,
Anyway.
Allie, if you really care about no kings and you care about no dictators, you should probably listen to what Cuban Americans are saying. Even those in Cuba, I saw just the other day, they don't have any electricity except for a couple of hotels that are considered 5-star hotels. No gas because they used to get the oil from Venezuela. So what's happening is the supply chain is being thwarted a little bit because of the United States, because we owned the asset the asset was ours to begin with.
Yep.
But take a listen, even CBS couldn't hide this. Take a look at what they think about the indictment of Raul Castro.
Why is it so emotional?
Because we have been waiting for this moment for 67 years. And no one has paid any attention to the cause of the Cuban exiles. Not the UN, not the Organization of American States, no one, not in Europe, not in Asia. We have been ignored. And as imperfect as this may be, the Trump administration is the only American administration that has shown real concern about changing the lives of the 11 million Cubans back in the island.
We need to help the Cuban people. It's everything that they're going through right now because of Raul Castro's
So, I mean, I just want to make sure you guys heard it from those on the ground themselves and how they feel. And again, it's not a Democrat or Republican issue. It's a Cuban American issue. And it's a lot of times it's a humanitarian issue. We do have a vested interest in this country, being that they're only 90 miles off our coast.
I mean, yes. And if you're not going to take their understanding of what is going on, they're exiles. They've been exiled from Cuba, which is why they're here in America.
Yeah.
They can't even go home. There's nothing to go home to.
Why is it that the left has this, infatuation with Palestine and being, uprooted from whatever homeland that historically was not theirs, whatever. But they can't understand it when it's 90 miles off of our coast.
They can. They just choose not to.
Well,
Because
so
they're
a
Dixie
Cuban
Chicks.
American that is really out of pocket. Again, a fellow Floridian. I wasn't always a really big Marco Rubio supporter. But
Definitely am now.
man, I got his jersey and everything now. Listen,
Secretary of everything.
listen to how out of pocket he gets when he has to challenge the media on how they're not reporting what's going on in Iran. Take a look.
They would rather invest in Hezbollah. They would rather invest in the rapists and the murderers of Hamas. They would rather invest in those groups than they do in their own people. That's what Iran invests in. And that's what the world, that's what you should be asking me about. That's what the BBC should be covering. And that's what these other media outlets should be covering, is how evil these people are in Iran and the damage they've done to people all over the world.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you. And the reason why we brought this up is because it connects to Cuba, right? It connects to the dictatorship and to the oppression of Castro and of the IRGC and what they're actually doing and how the media is complicit in spinning that narrative. If we could only pass the Spin Act,
formerly the Smith Month modernization repeal. Yes. Thank you, Obama, for coming out. And one of your first things you did was say, we think the media should be able to lie to you and push propaganda.
Yeah,
God bless it. But no kings in the world.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
What is
I
happening?
don't know. Hey, Allie, do you know, I had to do recently, a couple of years ago, a lot of digging on parliamentarians
Mm.
because most of your local board meetings, whether it's school or county commissioner, run off of this thing called Robert's Rules. And once you know the tools to be able to hold your government responsible even during a meeting, it's amazing. So we have a parliamentarian in Capitol Hill that I guess has long been not somebody who's kind to the conservatives. They sometimes call the shots on which direction a meeting's going to go. For example, if Allie's talking and there's a Democrat that wants to silence her and she says something like point of order or point of information, a parliamentarian is sort of like the referee that can make the decision. Are we going to go this way? Are we going to go this way? And I guess that matters who that is.
Doesn't
So
follow Robert's rules.
some are saying that we might need, including Donald Trump, the president said this. Take a look at what he posted. Shockingly, Republicans have kept the very important position of parliamentarian in the hands of a woman, Elizabeth McDonnell, who was appointed long ago by Barack Hussein Obama. He says, that she was a good friend of Senator Harry Reid. But he goes on and on to say, maybe this vital job, it's time to take a look at this. I mean, I think we get through the midterms first, but why are we doing that? Like, why do you, when you have the football, you've got the presidency and both the House and the Senate, why do you not spike that football? This is what the American people want. They want you to go through with a laser and they want you to get everybody conservative, common sense minded.
There is zero excuse as to why there is a stall in pushing the America First agenda that everybody campaigned on behind Donald Trump.
Yep.
And got elected because of it. And now they refuse to get it done. And I don't understand why. He is just the tourniquet. You have to get involved locally. You have to come out and vote, because if not, we're going to be back.
And I would just like to say this to all of those sports fans out there. I love you. I know who you are. Love the basketball teams, the football teams, the college teams. When your team has a bad season, do you throw away your jersey and say, I'm never watching again? Or do you go, yeah, I didn't like this. Yeah, we probably need a new coach. We probably need to trade this person on this team. But you know what? We'll get him next year.
That for your government, you're not?
Thank you. Listen, this is why I joke and say I cheered for the Chicago Bears. I know how to cheer for a losing team and not give up. And then they went back to the Super Bowl, but they didn't win. That's okay. So just saying.
I mean, I guess that's why you have but that there's this awful side of it where you have the Dixiecrat plantation that tries to enslave the minds of Black and brown people and white liberal women that are childless and don't. I mean, they're cheering for the team, right? They don't want to turn their jersey in because they think the other team is like going to pummel them into non-existence, which is not accurate information. It's not true. So it's crazy. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No,
I mean,
good.
it's a great analogy. It works. It's just there's another side to it where it's like, maybe you shouldn't be rooting for that team. Do you see what it's doing to you?
But I'm saying in terms of sitting it out. Like you don't just sit it out then. You fantasy football league it. You go and you choose. I want a fantasy football league for both the House and Senate. I want to be able to. Well, we'll take a Kennedy. You can take McCain. Strategic. Allie, we've both been to DC. You've just been there again recently, but apparently the fountains are being brought back to life. Take a listen and look. Take a look at what President Trump had posted. Basically, he's saying it's only been a short while being in the administration, but he has through him with Doug Burgum, the Department of
Interior.
Are going through and they're actually beautifying the fountains around the monuments. I think maybe in preparation for America 250 and what that celebration is going to look like. But so it can be done. Maybe Governor Newsom needs to grab a pad of paper and a pen because he couldn't fill the reservoirs out in California prior to fire season. But apparently, vote for Spencer Pratt. So I love this. It's beautifying DC little by little and putting these. I saw somebody had posted where they were doing interviews, Allie, outside the National Mall, and they were like, this was from years ago, and they're like, just drain the water because it's so murky and it's so disgusting, and it's like, it looks like algae. And but so he's going through and beautifying this, and I just
Thank
think,
goodness.
thank you. I mean,
Thank you. It's beautiful. DC is
yeah.
okay. So when I was there, I was looking around and I'm seeing smiles. I'm seeing more tour buses than
You
I've
mean they
seen.
weren't covered with masks?
Really?
Mm.
I mean, that's great. I'm seeing
Sorry.
people smiling that are there, that are visiting. They're walking around. They're like and then you're seeing flags, like American flags, literally everywhere. It's like America threw up all over DC. It's fantastic.
Yes,
I love it.
we did.
Red, white, and blue everywhere. It's amazing. But you're seeing like class trips. And all the kids are excited. They're all waving American flags. And you have
Yes.
parents and people that are not from America that are here, that are just
to see
visiting
it,
or
yeah.
visiting from different places. And
Yeah.
you see tour buses all over the place. I don't remember the last time I've seen that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean? Like, it's been a while. And so I think
It has.
I know that because of President Trump's wanting his love for just beautiful things
Yeah.
because they're American,
Yeah.
and bringing back that American nostalgia is resonating with Americans, that this is a place that should be preserved. It
Yes.
should be beautified.
And every dignitary that comes, some of them do come to Mar-a-Lago, but that when they go through DC, you want them to see,
It's best of the best.
absolutely. And I think, the person who keeps Trump Tower in tip top shape is the perfect person to build an out of this world ballroom. So we
Build
don't have to
ballroom.
keep spending money elsewhere, to try to batten down the hatches in these other Hilton and whatever else ballrooms. And then
Secure
it's not as
tourists.
safe. Yeah. Like I love it. I love it. But we are out of time,
I
man.
know. No.
Out of time. You guys are going to have to tune in tomorrow. We've got so much more. Just fired up. Sorry, Chad Caton. I just stole it. You guys will have to check us out Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here. Thank you, Talk Red, and thank you, Liberty Cigars.
And
Thank you.
yes, for watching, sharing, liking, and subscribing. Guys, make sure you are the sharpest tip of the spear in your circle of influence. Get involved locally, because local action equals national impact. Guys, we will see you next time. Keep that mic open and stay out of pocket.
See ya.
Two queens, no filter. Say what they feel. Allie and Michelle keep it way too real.